formulae. Here in a solids, mainly we categorize into three types of expansions in solids. One is linear, other one areal, other one volume expansion. So now we are going to discuss about formula here. So here what is the formula we have? Alpha is equal to delta L by L into delta T. This is the formula. We also have one more formula, LT minus L naught by L naught into T. We have one more formula, alpha is equal to L2 minus L1 by L1 T2 minus L2 T1, L1 T2 minus L2 T1. Here, when should we use this particular formula means they mention only change in temperature in the question directly, and they're asking change in linear expansion or length, original length, they're asking like that. We use this formula for linear expansions. If they are given length at 0 degrees centigrade, then use this formula. If they didn't mention 0 degrees or anything like that, then use this formula. So this formula we are using when they have given temperature difference is mentioned. This formula we are using when length at 0 degrees and T degrees they are mentioning like that. So we don't have any 0 degrees temperature, and we can use this last one. Last one is universal formula. Even for second one situation also we can use the last one. So coefficient of linear expansion formulae in expansion of solids is, we can take delta L by L into delta T, or this one or this one. In these three, anything we can use. Similarly, beta delta A by A into delta T. Same kind here also. Here again beta is equal to AT minus A naught. A naught means area at 0 degrees. AT is area at T degrees centigrade. And finally we can also write it as beta is equal to A2 minus A1 by A1 T2 minus A2 T1. That is, A1 is area at T1 degree centigrade, A2 is area at T2 degree centigrade. So beta is coefficient of areal expansion or superficial expansion. Coefficient of areal expansion or superficial expansion. Alpha is coefficient of linear expansion. Coefficient of linear expansion. Now we are going to check about gamma. What is gamma? Change in volume by original volume into temperature difference. And this gamma is called as coefficient of volume expansion. Situation demands. According to the situation, we use the formula beta. If temperature difference directly they mentioned, better to use this one. No volume at 0, volume at T degrees, you have to take this one. According to the given situations, we have to select the formula. Here also V2 is volume at T2 degrees centigrade, V1 is volume at T1 degrees centigrade. The last formula are universal formula. That means they are applicable in all the conditions. They are applicable in all the conditions. Like that, I can write about alpha, beta, gamma. Alpha is coefficient of rate expansion, beta is coefficient of rate expansion, gamma is coefficient of volume expansion. Next, what are the relations between them? Alpha is to beta is to gamma is equal to 1 is to 2 is to 3. Now, beta is 2 alpha. From the above expression, gamma is 3 alpha. So, gamma is 3 by 2 beta, or beta equal to 2 by 3 gamma. How you got these things, sir? Alpha is to beta is to gamma is what? 1 is to 2 is to 3. Beta is 2 alpha, gamma 3 alpha. Divide gamma by beta, we'll get this one. Divide beta by gamma, you will get this expression. Like that we get. And we can also write gamma is equal to alpha plus beta. Gamma is equal to alpha plus beta. So main formulae connecting with alpha, beta, gamma, these are the relations, we can say relations between alpha, beta and gamma. Next one, here density varying with temperature. Actually here gamma is equal to, we have Vt minus V naught by V naught into T. V naught is volume at 0 degree centigrade, Vt is volume at T degree centigrade. as density is inversely proportional to volume. As density is inversely proportional to volume, now I can write 1 by dt minus 1 by d naught by 1 by d naught into t. So direct formula, I am not discussing how you got all these things, just formula I am writing, d naught minus dt. Now we are discussing only formulae. So from here, what I am getting here, I can also write dt is equal to d naught by 1 plus gamma t. Here, the relation between d naught and dt and d naught, we can write like that. So here, suppose when we are taking this one gamma, how to write in terms of volume? Final volume Vt is equal to V naught into 1 plus gamma t. So when we are taking the formula for Vt and V naught, Vt equal to V naught into 1 plus gamma t. Because with increase of temperature, volume increases. But with increase of temperature, density decreases. Density decreases. Volume is directly proportional to temperature and density is inversely proportional to temperature. Inversely proportional to temperature. Volume directly proportional to temperature. Density is inversely proportional to temperature. You have to remember the formula. What we have remembered in this, gamma is d naught minus dt by dt into t. What is d naught? Density at 0 degrees. What is dt? Density at t degrees centigrade. So we got this formula like that. Suppose I have taken d1 is at t1 degree centigrade, density d2 is at t2 degree centigrade. Now I am not deriving this one, direct formula I am writing, gamma is d1 minus d2 by d2 t2 minus d1 t1. This is when d1 is density at t1 degrees, d2 is density at t2 degrees centigrade, we have to use this formula. For volumes, what we have? V1 is volume at T1 degrees centigrade. V2 is volume at T2 degrees centigrade. Then what should I write? Gamma is equal to V2 minus V1 by V1 T2 minus V2 T1. In the place of here, volume, I am just substituting reciprocal because volume is reciprocal to density. Wherever, suppose here observe V2 is there, I will put 1 by D2. V1 is there, I will put 1 by D1. Here V1 1 by D1, V2 1 by D2. If you substitute, you will get the gamma value like that. So the gamma is coefficient of volume expansion. When you are taking density, we have to take gamma only. Why we must not take alpha and beta? Alpha linear, beta aerial. Because volume and density are connected. So whenever we are taking gamma, you must not take alpha, beta. What happened means sometimes in problems, they are asking us alpha value. They are giving, suppose this is the previous topic we'll see, a density at 0 degrees centigrade they are giving. For example, d naught value is 10 and gamma value some 10 power minus 5 and t value is 100. So when they are asking to find dt, indirectly sometimes what they are giving, they are giving alpha. They are not giving directly gamma. First they are giving alpha. Alpha is some 10 power minus 6. They have mentioned alpha is 10 power minus 6. We must not think that is density is not connected to alpha. First convert the alpha to in terms of gamma, because density is not connected with linear and aerial. Density is connected with volume coefficient. So we have to take care gamma is equal to 3 alpha. Gamma is equal to 3 alpha. It's a very, that means you have to be very careful here. If you don't take gamma is equal to 3 alpha, you will get mistake here. You must not be hurry. If you found alpha in the question, you must not simply take the alpha and substitute there. You have to convert first, because so many students make mistakes by neglecting. That means seeing that alpha value properly, they are thinking gamma value and substituting there. That's a very dangerous thing. So please take care in this issue. Now coming to the next one. So a density varying with also we discussed. Again, just I am giving formula, I am not discussing everything. So suppose they have given metal tapes. Because this metal tapes, what happened? They are affected with the temperature. They expands on heating. So suppose here the original length we have to find. The original length we have to find. L naught is, they are telling that L naught is original length. Original length. Original length means it is calibrated at some temperature. L is measured length. L is measured length. Measured length. And here error is delta L. When temperature increases or decreases, you are getting error. That error is delta L, L alpha delta theta. This delta L is called error in the reading. So when suppose a metal tape is calibrated, original length is at what? Some T degrees centigrade. Now if we increase the temperature, T degree, we are increasing more than T degrees centigrade, or we are decreasing the temperature, we are observing the error, So in this case, to find the original length, what should I do means L plus delta L. That means this error has to be added, delta L has to be added to get original length. So error has to be added. And when temperature decreases, what we can write? L naught is equal to L minus delta L. So a delta L is subtracted. Now I am not discussing in detail about why it is subtracted, why it is added and all those things, because already in my previous videos you have that information. Just I am explaining the formula, only formula, I am giving the formula sake I have written this one. So I hope how to handle the metal tapes formulae. Simple. If temperature is more than the calibrated temperature, this is a calibrated temperature, temperature is more than calibrated temperature for metal tape, then error has to be added. If temperature is decreases than the calibrated temperature, then error has to be subtracted. Error has to be subtracted. Just keep that thing in your mind. Happily you can solve the metal tapes formula, metal tapes related problems with this information. Next, bimetallic strip problems will be there. Bimetallic strip. Here bimetallic strip means here two cases are there. So here suppose alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2. That means the metal which is having alpha 1, that expands more, on heating and contracts more on cooling. When heated, the metal which is having alpha 1, bimetallic strip means, what do you mean by bimetallic strip? Two dissimilar metals joined like this is called as bimetallic strip. So two dissimilar metals, I am taking two dissimilar metals just joined like this. So the upper metal is having suppose alpha 1, lower metal alpha 2. There are two different metals. This is metal 1 and this is metal 2 we have. This is a bimetallic strip. When heated, as alpha 1 is greater, than alpha 2 means when heated, what will happen? The metal that is a blue one will get more, expands more than, when heated, the metal which has more alpha value, expands more. The metal which has more alpha value expands more. That means alpha 1 is having more, alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2. So the convex side what we are getting means, which is having more alpha, that will be on convex side, which is on less alpha, that will be on concave side. You have to remember, theoretical questions they will ask like that. And I am not discussing complete phenomena, just I am giving the information. When cooled, what will happen? The metal which is having more alpha value, that contracts more, than which is having less alpha value. So here what happened? Here convex side is alpha 1, which is greater 1, greater is on convex side and lesser is on concave side. You have to be alert in this regard. What is formula here? Formula for bimetallistic objective point of view, I can take the formula like that. R is equal to D by alpha 1 difference alpha 2 into delta theta. Yeah, delta theta or delta t, anything I can write delta t. Here R is radius of curvature. What radius of curvature, sir? For what it is means, suppose the metal is bending, it is making in the form of an arc. We observe metal bends in form of an arc. So this is one metal. When heated or cooled, the metal is bending in the form of an arc. That's why we told convex and concave side. Now, this is a R. R is called radius of curvature. What is R? Radius of curvature. R is called radius of curvature. And D is called thickness of bimetallic strip. Thickness of bimetallic strip. So it is making some arc with an angle theta, alpha 1, alpha 2, delta T is the temperature difference. So what is our radius of curvature? Radius of curvature. And what is the D? Thickness of bimetallic strip. D is called thickness of bimetallic strip. Bimetallic strip. And what is delta T? Delta T is nothing but temperature difference. Temperature difference is delta T. Temperature difference is delta T. So this formula we can use for finding radius of curvature in expansions of solids. So this is one formula. Simply here D means they will mention thickness of bimetallic strip alpha 1 alpha 2 whichever big minus small into delta T is temperature difference. We get radius of curvature of this arc form because when heated and cooled it's bending, either it can bend in these two ways. So already we explained heated which is having more alpha 1 value, that is outside, and alpha 2 is inside. Alpha 2 is less than alpha 1, less 1 is inside, greater expansion 1 is outside. Here lesser expansion 1 is outside and more lesser contract as more expansion 1 is inside, because when heated the which is having more alpha that expands more, when cooled which is having more alpha that contracts more, which is having more alpha that contracts more. Like that we can give the information related to bimetallic strip. Bimetallic strip. Here one more thing we have anisotropic solids. Anisotropic solids formulae we have to know. Anisotropic means the properties in different directions are different. The properties in different directions are different. Those comes under anisotropic solids. Anisotropic solids. Here what happened? Here in the x-axis, let us take this as x-axis, this as y-axis, and this as z-axis. Now along x-axis expansion, let me take it as alpha 1, along y-axis alpha 2, along z-axis alpha 3. That means linear expansion is different in different directions. Different directions, different linear expansions. Such type of solid is called anisotropic solids. So here coefficient of volume expansion means alpha 1 plus alpha 2 plus alpha 3. Suppose now I am taking effective coefficient of linear expansion, alpha as effective coefficient of linear expansion, then I can write it as alpha 1 plus alpha 2 plus alpha 3 by 3. This is also the formula to be noted in anisotropic solids. Anisotropic solids, we have to remember this formula also. So we discussed now some concepts like first density varying with alpha beta gamma. Okay, alpha beta gamma we discussed formula, and then alpha is to beta is to gamma is equal to 1 is to 2 is to 3. Then we discussed about density varying with temperature. After density varying with temperature, we discussed about metal tapes. After metal tapes, we discussed about bimetallic strip. And after bimetallic strip, what we discussed? Anisotropic solids. These are the basic things in expansions of solids. Apart from this, so many applications are there, like moment of inertia, And again we have that is a that is a pendulum clocks and thermal force and thermal stress concepts, like that so many are there. But what I discussed till now, those are the basic in expansions of solids. Just now we discussed basics in expansions of solids. Just I will give the formula related to the things like pendulum clocks. Pendulum clocks. In pendulum clocks, what type of formula we have? Let us check it out in pendulum clocks. In pendulum clocks means here pendulum, what we have, delta T by T into 86,400 is equal to 1 by 2 alpha delta theta into 86,400. This is called as loss or gain of time in a day. Loss or gain of time in one day. In one day. In pendulum clocks, this is the formula. This is the formula. So remember, if temperature increases, what will happen? Length increases. Length increases, time period increases. Time period increases means it runs slow. Time period increases means it runs slow. So just remember, I am not discussing the total topic of pendulum clock. Just I am giving the formula itself. Delta T by T is 86,400, loss or gain of time in one day. If temperature increases, the pendulum length increases. Pendulum length increases means time period increases. It runs slow. And run slow means it loses time. It loses time. So when temperature increases, it loses time. Remember that. And if temperature decreases, what will happen? Length decreases. Length decreases means the time period decreases. Time period decreases means it runs fast. Just remember these points. No need to discuss the total. I'm just giving the formula. Remember, just I'm giving the formula. I'm not teaching the concept. Just I'm giving the formula. Gains time. These things related to pendulum clocks you have to remember. And what about thermal force and thermal stress? They are connected to what topic? Mechanical properties of solids. Here their thermal force formula Ya alpha delta theta. Ya alpha delta theta. If a rod is fixed between two rigid supports and heated, that is tries to expand here, that then the thermal force experienced. F is called thermal force. Thermal force. Here again we have to remember F by A is equal to Y alpha delta theta. Here F by A is called thermal stress. This is actually connected topic to mechanical properties of solids. Mechanical properties of solids. So it is connected with the mechanical properties of solids, thermal stress. Y is here Young's modulus. Y is Young's modulus. So heat connected with mechanical properties of solids, thermal force, thermal stress. These things. Just remember the formula. I am not giving the more details. Just formula I am giving you for thermal force and thermal stress. So you understood the pendulum clocks formula. Just I have given pendulum clocks formula. Now thermal force and thermal stress formula also I have given to you. Yeah, again movement of inertia effect on movement of inertia, effect of temperature on movement of inertia. This is connected with what chapter? Yes, it is connected with what chapter? Center of mass and system of particles rotational mechanics. System of particles and rotational mechanics. So movement of inertia. So movement of inertia we are writing now. Movement of inertia. So what are the formula I can write here? Connecting movement of inertia means I is movement of inertia I. Main formula I am going to delta I is equal to I alpha delta theta. Actually the I equal to mr square. So we'll get 2I alpha delta theta. Actually I is equal to mr square. Suppose I have taken I is proportional to r square. Delta I by I is equal to 2 into delta r by r. Alpha is delta R by R into delta theta. Actually, instead of R, will take K. Instead of R, will take here K. K is radius of gyratia. Okay, anything is fine. So, I can write the formula for delta I. Delta I is change in moment of inertia. Change in moment of inertia. And suppose they want a fractional change, delta I by I is equal to 2 alpha delta theta. This is called fractional change. Fractional change in moment of inertia. Fractional change in moment of inertia. And I can write delta I by I into 100. If I write 100, multiply with 100, 2 alpha delta theta into 100, then this is called percentage change. Percentage change in moment of inertia. So, percentage change in moment of inertia. First one, simply delta I means change in moment of inertia. Delta I by I means fractional change of moment of inertia. Delta I by I into 100, percentage change in moment of inertia. Like that, we have the formula in solids in this way. Now, let us observe liquids. In liquids, what are the formulae we have in liquids? In liquids, actually, we have two types, that is gamma R and gamma A. Gamma R is also nothing but delta V by V into delta T, but here delta V, this change in volume, we call it as real change in volume. Real change in volume. Real change in volume of liquid. Real change in volume of liquid. Gamma R coefficient of real expansion. Gamma A also will write the same formula, delta V by V into delta T. But delta V now it is called as, let us put small change, V dash. Apparent change in volume. Apparent change in volume of liquid. Same formula as we discussed in solids. Here also formula I can write gamma R is equal to Vt minus V naught by V naught into T I can write. Here for gamma A I can write as Vt dash. Just putting dash means apparent. Just to show some small difference for real and apparent, we are doing this one. So in liquids mainly gamma R and gamma A. Gamma R means coefficient of real expansion. Gamma A means coefficient of apparent expansion. Because we know liquids, we have two things. Directly we can't heat liquid, that is the problem. We are having gamma A. This is gamma R is when we have to take when container expansion negligible. Without the container expansion negligible, only liquid expands, that is called as real expansion. Generally not possible. Apparent means what will happen? When liquid is expanding during container expansion takes place. The liquid expansion relative to container you are taking, will discuss about gamma A. Only liquid alone we are discussing, then we will use the term gamma R for coefficient of volume expansion, real expansion. This is coefficient of volume expansion only, but apparent. Here along with the liquid, container also expanding. Here only liquid expansion takes place, we use this formula. I hope you are clear with this one about liquids, this formula now. Now in liquids you have to be alert. Then what is the relation between this gamma R and gamma A? Means gamma R is equal to gamma A plus gamma C. What is this new term, sir? Gamma C is related to volume coefficient of container. Container is related to solids. It is also volume expansion of container. So gamma C I can write it as 3 alpha C. So gamma R is equal to gamma A plus I can write 3 alpha C. Gamma R is equal to gamma A plus 3 alpha C. This is the formula when we are discussing about liquids. Either gamma R is gamma A plus gamma C or gamma R equal to gamma A plus 3 alpha C. So when you are doing liquid problems, use this formula. And in liquids also we will be having density varying with respect to temperature. Let us observe in liquids density, generally volume expansion, real expansion of volume, what will write? Vt minus V naught by V naught into T. Suppose this formula I have taken. And liquids also have the density. The density of liquid is inversely proportional to what? Volume of liquid. By substituting the data, what should I write? 1 by dt minus 1 by d naught by 1 by d naught into t. So here the density formula what I wrote here, we don't have any variation related to the solids or liquids. The formula is same. The solids and liquids formula is same. The main point what I want you to remember is gamma r is real expansion, coefficient of real expansion, coefficient of real expansion. When you are taking density, density means it is related to real only liquid expansion, related to only liquid expansion. So whenever we are discussing about densities, you must and should take gamma r only. We must not take gamma a. Remember, don't be in emergency by putting, because in some problems they will give gamma a and find the densities. Then you must not be hurry worry. You have to check in that type of problems along with gamma A, they will give alpha or some gamma C. By using those, we can find gamma R value. So remember, my main point what I want to say here is that density is related to not gamma R. Density is related to gamma R only, not gamma A. Density is not connected with gamma A. It is connected purely with gamma R. Gamma A means apparent. Their container expansion also is considered. Here real expansion, only liquid expansion. So here we have to take gamma R only. I hope you are clear with this idea about density varying with the temperature. Mainly here coming to the liquids, you will be discussing about water. So this phenomena, anomalous behavior, that is between 0 degrees centigrade to 4 degrees centigrade. Its nature you must not forget. In this particular period of temperature range, density is directly proportional to temperature. Density is directly proportional to temperature, and volume is inversely proportional to temperature. These points you must not forget when we are discussing about water, that too between 0 degrees to 4 degrees only, not at other temperatures, not at other temperatures. So this is anomalous behavior of water. Density maximum at what temperature? 4 degrees centigrade. Theory bits will come from this formula. You have to be alert. Density maximum means obviously volume will be minimum. Volume minimum, density maximum, because density is inversely proportional to volume. I hope you are clear. So density maximum, volume minimum at what for water? 4 degrees centigrade. So these points to be noted. Water, not at all temperature this phenomena occurs. Only between 0 degrees centigrade to 4 degrees centigrade. Density is directly proportional to temperature. Volume is inversely proportional to temperature. Generally for any liquid, generally for all liquids, what is the phenomena? Density is inversely proportional to temperature. Liquids as well as solids. Liquids as well as solids. Volume is directly proportional to temperature. Density is inversely proportional to temperature. Even for water also after 4 degrees centigrade, the same phenomena. 4 degrees centigrade to 100 degrees centigrade, same phenomena occurs. Even we take water also. Yeah, this is the basic idea about the liquids topic. And here some topics are there, like I can take one topic, unoccupied space remains constant. In liquids, this formula also very important for us. Unoccupied space remains constant. Unoccupied space remains constant. So suppose some liquid is filled only till here, and we want to make this unoccupied space, the space, this remaining space where the liquid is not present, that is called unoccupied space. Where the liquid is not present in the container, we call it as unoccupied space. In liquids they are saying unoccupied space constant, unoccupied space constant. For this direct formula I am giving you, beta. Whenever they mention unoccupied space constant, remember the formula, gamma CVC is equal to VL gamma L. What is a gamma C? This the gamma C we see related to container. Container. VL gamma L related to VL gamma L related to what? VL gamma L related to liquid. These are related to liquid and those are related to container. So please don't forget these things. Gamma C, VC, VL, gamma L. Gamma L is real expansion of liquid, real expansion coefficient of real expansion of liquid. VL, volume of liquid. VC, volume of total container. VC means volume of total container. VL means volume of liquid. And gamma L, volume coefficient, real coefficient. It is real, not apparent, real coefficient of volume expansion of liquid. And gamma C related to container. Gamma C related to container. Like that, we can take the formula here, unoccupied space constant. I hope you are clear till here about this unoccupied space constant topic, what we discussed till now. So, in liquids, these are the major formulae to be noted. I hope you are clear with solids and liquids formulae. Thank you very much.